So, for reasons unknown, my Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra has yet to be shipped. And pickup date is supposed to be tomorrow. So, while we wait for that, let's talk about the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro and the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Samsung did announce the Watch 5 that same year, and the Watch 5, though they had a Pro version and the Golf Watch of which I really did like, it didn't have the rotating bezel yet again, and the digital bezel just didn't work as well as I'd like. It wasn't very accurate. It took a while for it to register your touch and then stop where you actually wanted to stop most of the time. So when they announced the Watch 6 Classic, and they announced that it would be returning to the rotating bezel, I was overjoyed. And not only did it have a rotating bezel, it had the biggest screen to date of all the Galaxy watches. That combined with the fact that it now use both Google Watch OS combined with some Samsung flair, and it came in purple, it was a no-brainer. I had to get that watch. So here it is, people. My stuff of about a week plus late, but it's here, it's in hand. Let's open this up and see what we got. So, about to start the day with the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Not gonna lie, this lavender band with the black frame is kind of working for me. I was thinking maybe I would want to switch it to the silver frame, which would probably look, quite nice too. But this contrast here, the black and the lavender, kind of like it. I feel it. Now, I've been wearing the watch all day. I think it's currently at 39%. My day did start maybe 4 hours earlier today. It started at 4:45 as opposed to 8:15 around there. So just over half power gone with a regular day of use. But let's look at this sleep band or fabric band. Not necessarily for sleep. I honestly thought this was more for the gym, so when you sweat and all of that. I always assumed that the leather band would be very uncomfortable, and those metal bands that so many people like. So I really thought this was more of a gym thing, but according to them, sleep. Now, feeling it, I'm not particularly impressed. The Google soft band, if you remember that vid, I was so impressed with, I damn near died. It was an amazing experience just to how that thing felt in your hands. This is nowhere near that. This feels almost like a Velcro material without the hooks or the hooks all over it to have it stick to itself. It's not bad, lightweight. Honestly, some people might find it kind of bothersome to put on. It's really not the best feeling soft band. I really thought it would be softer than this. I think this really might be something like to hike in, just something very lightweight. Do some gym this or gym that. Oh, and there goes the Velcro aspect. Totally, it felt like some kind of Velcro band to sleep. Honestly, I think the regular band feels better. Whatever material this is, this type of rubber here, feels really good. It really does. So, starting my first work day with the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. I currently have, let's see how much power this thing got. 97%, and the time is 5:41. I've been up since 4:45, took the watch off its charger at 5 o'clock. Let's see how this thing does with a full day of work. All my messaging and calls and music playback and control, all being done through the watch. Maybe even a little camera work, as the watch can apparently control my phone. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing keeps up with my busy schedule. Let's get into it. So power's at 19%. I've been up for the past hour. When I got out of bed, power was at 23. When I went to bed, power was at 37. So lost like 14% to track sleep. So you need to take that into consideration. The sleep band held up well. You know what? It does work for sleep. I kind of forgot I was even wearing this thing. So, you know, assuming Samsung did their homework. When you first put it on, it's just, I guess, a little unusual. The texture does get to you, but as your skin adjusts to it and you go to relax, it kind of just fades away. You know, even with the weight of the watch at the top and the rest of the band not doing much to, you know, help with that. It does do its job. I'm not mad at it. Is it the Pixel Watch fabric band? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but it does work. It does work. So I've been using the Watch 6 Classic since it was released. It's been my main smartwatch for what, the better part of a year now. Whereas with the Watch 5 Pro, the standout feature was the battery life and its ability to track with its GPS. With the Watch 6 Classic, its standout feature is control. Now, the Watch 6 Classic, with its rotating bezel, gives you back that tactile control from the Watch 4 Classic that made it so popular. A quick turn on the bezel and you can scan through your various tiles. Within certain apps, you can scroll through the menus, and it just makes it a lot easier to navigate the device. For those times when you need to input, the screen on the Watch 6 Classic is still the biggest screen Samsung has put on a watch. At 47 millimeters, it dwarfs both the Watch 5 Pro and the upcoming Galaxy Watch Ultimate. It does seem like a big deal, but having that extra 1 millimeter or 2 really does help with inputting text and the pressing of buttons and things along those lines. It's a lot easier to control this watch and navigate the OS of this watch because of the features that it has that allow for that. Another unique feature is controls over little things. For an example, here we have the flashlight, really bright, but with a quick turn of the bezel, as you can see, I can easily adjust how bright or dim this flashlight is. Now, like the Watch 5 Pro and other Galaxy watches, you do have access to gesture controls. you go into your settings tab, advanced, and here you see you have answer calls with a wave of the hand, dismiss calls with a twist of the wrist, and quick launch with a shake of, or a knock of the wrist. Now, on this watch, I need to have these things turned on because I have another set of controls that conflict with the gesture controls. It is really just another way that this device, like I said, is all about control. It gives you so many options. And if the gesture control isn't quite enough for you, you can always go into the universal controls and get even more granular control over the watch. From controlling the entire watch with certain fist pumps and finger pinches to using your wrist as a gyroscope to move an arrow around to the input that you want. The controls of the Galaxy watch, not just the 6, are really plentiful, and though you may not find use for all of them, it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Well, the day is done, and the Classic has 6% left. Now 5%. I'm about to put it on a battery saver mode so it can get me home. Boom. Battery saver mode is on. So it's not like the watch had a short day. It's now 1 a.m. I've been wearing the watch since, what, 9 this morning, something along those lines. But it's a pretty long day that this thing has gone. And it's been in constant use. It tracked my workout. I've synced it to my Bluetooth headphones for a while, so it was playing my music for me. It did some messaging and whatever else it does in the background. So the watch was being put through its paces. And like I said, when it comes to these new extended days that I have, the Watch 6 Classic barely makes it through. But for someone like me who likes to have, access to what I use at all times, it's not something that I want. Hence why in my other video I said I got the Watch 5 Pro. Now the Watch 6 has 98%, the Watch 5 has 50%, and the Watch 5 still has more battery life than the Watch 6. You see here the Watch 5 has 1 day and 10 hours, the Watch 6 Classic has 1 day and 8 hours. Now, this is at 98% and this is at 57%. So that should give you a good idea of just how much bigger this battery is and how much longer this watch can last in comparison to the newer model. Of course, the Watch 6 Classic has the full suite of help applications, from running, walking, weight training. They are all there, and many of them will start automatically once you start to do your exercise routine. I always found that to be a really great perk of the watches, because most of the time when I go to the gym, I do forget to actively turn on which exercise I'm doing, and the watch just eventually knows based on your movement. There was one specific thing that I found to be somewhat annoying. I had done not a particularly intensive workout, and I had fallen asleep not too long after that. When I woke up, I checked my sleep as I have grown accustomed to doing, and the watch did not track what or how long I had slept. Instead, it still had the exercise pause. So for the 2-3 hours, maybe 4, that I was asleep, none of that sleep got recorded, because for whatever reason, the watch didn't stop my paused routine. You know, I don't know if it's a bug, because it's never happened before, but at the same time, when I had been done my exercise, I'm pretty sure that I have pressed finish on all of them, except for walks. Because walks, it will pause your walk and then after a short time, finish your walk. So keep that in mind if you are getting this watch. As for everything else with the Watch 6 Classic, phone calls are great. All right, bye. Being able to answer calls and hang up is just a very easygoing experience with the watch. Being able to control whatever video you are trying to watch on your phone, from adjusting the volume to changing the video itself, it's just overall a much better experience, thanks in part to the physical rotating bezel that the Watch 6 Classic has. So, Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. It's not the first time I've considered it against an Ultra watch. But in all truth, it does hold its own for what I need it to do, and then goes above and beyond in other aspects of a smartwatch features, mainly due to the rotating bezel. It just makes it so much easier to control, just to scroll, to manipulate the watch and the various apps. The only flaw for me with the Watch 6 Classic is the battery life. I just need more battery to get me through the day, but I have the Watch 5 Pro for that. So with that thinking, what does the Watch 7 Ultra has to offer that I don't get out of the use of both of these watches that I already own? It is to think about. So with that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and considering the Watch 7 Ultra, but seeing the pros of having the Watch 5 and the Watch 6 Classic, this is what I'm into.